Hello, everyone, and welcome to the official kickoff for Season 4 of KY Go Digital Live. We are super happy to have you here. This launches our fall series on innovative distance learning strategies happening across the state of Kentucky. My name is DJ Matty B, or Matt Balka, if you know me, and I will be DJing the show for you today, and I woke up hype. I am so ready to go, and I know you're thinking, Matt, why do you look like you're about to debate somebody on a stage? I'm actually dressed up. It's October 13th. It's such a costumey time, and I know our presenter, Jim, today loves Halloween. So I don't know how familiar you are with your Black Jack movies, but I am going as Jack Black from School of Rock. I've got the shorts. I've got the blazer. I am hype, and I hope you are too. So I am so excited to be joined by our Kentucky Go Digital live team. Please give a wave when I shout you out. We have Amy Buss, an instructional technology coordinator for Warren County Public Schools. We have Dana Dowdy, digital learning coach at Graves County Schools. Danielle Washburn, my partner in JCPS and a digital innovation leader. We have Heather Worrell, my boss, and the executive administrator for digital innovation for JCPS. We have Courtney DeRosset, who is field staff for KDE. We have Kathleen Receiver, or Reservoir, if you're feeling fancy. She's also a digital innovation leader at JCPS. We have Elaine Ebenatha, a digital innovation leader for JCPS. We have Angie White, the district instructional technology leader for Oldham County Schools. I think she's the director of instructional technology for Oldham County Schools. I'm sorry. And then we have Heidi Neltner, who's a digital learning coach for Fort Thomas Independent Schools. I think chat side because she's got the sniffles today. I think so. Heidi, hope you feel better. So hello to all of you, or should I say cello, since I'm Jack Black today. And hello to everybody watching us live on YouTube. We are so happy to see you. I love our Kentucky Go Digital family. I really feel like it is a family because I haven't seen you since July. I'm going to talk to you for an hour, and then I won't talk to you again for another 2 weeks. So it's perfect. We will have Danielle and Kathleen chat side taking questions from our YouTube live chat. So make sure you drop in there and introduce yourself as well. Let us know what county or state you're from, what you teach or what you do for your school or district. If you don't have the chat capability, make sure you log in to YouTube. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button. That way you're always continuing to learn with us as we post videos and go live throughout the year. All right. It is time to hear from our amazing leader, Jim Unger. He's one of my coworkers in JPPS. I've known him for years. I taught his daughter. He's incredible. Jim, it is great to have you here today, man.
Thank you, Matt. It's awesome to be here. I'm glad to be an extended member of your new family.
It comes with a lot of work, so don't be too excited about it. But
I understand that. All right. Well, my name's Jim Unger. I am with JCPS Digital Innovation. Some of my partners are on here. My Zone 2 work wife, Kathleen Reservoir, is on here, receiver. Elaine Abernatha, my awesome boss, Heather Worrell, leading this out, and I love it. And I'm telling you, I've got to get one of those purple t-shirts. I've been missing out on them, but I do have my purple on today. All right. So I want to share my screen, I do believe. Let's see. All right. Share screen. And I hope everyone is excited to be here to learn about Minecraft Education Edition and how you can use it within your district. There we go. Within your district to help extend your learning and engage those students out there. So a little bit of background first. Maybe not. Let's go. Reloading. All right, so this is how it goes, and we love distance learning. Are you guys hearing me all right, Matt?
Yeah, you sound great, Jim. You look great too.
Has it not switched over?
Yeah, we can see you. I mean, we can see the slides. You're fine. Well, we're waiting. No, we're waiting for the slides to load.
We're waiting. Okay. Oh, there's one. How about that? All right, well, let's just jump right in here on this one because it did load. Are we seeing this one, JCPS Minecraft?
Yes, sir.
All right, so a little intro to Jefferson County Public Schools. If you don't know who we are large urban school district, about 100,000 students, plus or minus, give or take. You know how that goes, about the 27th largest district in the nation. Being a large district like that, it also brings a lot of challenges. For education, you talk about like 150 different buildings or schools, 6,000 staff members. It's a lot of things to get around, especially when something hits like COVID and we have to go to distance learning. So we really leverage those digital tools, and that's part of what my team that I work with, you keep hearing us say, JCPS Digital Innovation. So what is JCPS Digital Innovation? This is a small team, and our boss loves to call us, and I absolutely love this just based on my military background, the Navy SEALs of Education Technology. It's just fabulous because there's 10 of us plus one with our amazing leader. And
oh my gosh, I did not pay him to say this. And Jim, you're sharing all of our trade secrets across the state.
Should I not be doing that? They want to know how this amazing stuff happens, how it gets pushed out.
That's right. I do call them the Navy SEALs of EdTech, though, I must admit.
Absolutely. I'm going to hype it. You talk us up, and I love it. Absolutely. So you threw me off my game. Oh, my goodness. So 10 of us have to serve 6,000 staff members and 100,000 students and try to get this information out there like Minecraft Education Edition.
Hey, Jim, I hate to interrupt you, but while you're off your game, can you turn your closed captioning on for us? Actually, I don't see it on here.
I could, but I do not see it on my bar. I had looked for it a couple times.
Somebody's got to tell Google that this transgression will not stand.
Yeah, I do not understand what's going on. I don't know if it's because they did not load properly. But if it does come up, I will turn it on. I absolutely understand that one. So how does this really work with JCPS Digital Innovation? What do we do? I really look at it as we have a tiered approach coming in where we like to become experts ourselves, whatever it may be. We have group projects that we work on, with asynchronous and synchronous learning. And then a lot of us have specific specialized things like DJ Matty B is big on DJ. He also does esports for the district. I work with Minecraft education, and while our whole team will work with things like Teams and Google Meet. And notice we're not specific. We don't love and hug one person more than another. We love all of our partners, whether that's Microsoft, Apple, Google, Sphero, it does not matter. Lego, we like to bring in the best resources we can, push them so that we can leverage them for our students. And we build that hype using social media. We get out there, we tweet, we hype up to inform, and also to celebrate people that are using things in great ways to let people know about it. We then use things like YouTube Live to inform and train and work with our teachers. And then even further down to that, we can get granular. We go in person or virtual, and we will co-teach classes, visit with the students, work with them to help produce products, sometimes for those things called artifacts that we put in that JCPS backpack, if you've heard of that. So we leverage all of these tools, and this is that time where it really shows. This is a little bit more looking at that strategy, a little bit behind the scenes at JCPS of what's going on. It starts at the top. We have our district leaders. We work with our principals. We move on down to our teachers, LMSs, STCs, library media services. STCs are the school technology coordinators. And we really spread out at that point. This is where we really get out and make that reach. We have innovative people in the buildings that work with us hand in hand. And then we look at our partners and how we can get this, and we call it our digital agility or educator agility. Once again, not specifically learning about Google, not specifically learning about Microsoft or Minecraft, but learning about all the different tools and how they can best be used at any given time. So, moving into the NTI challenge, and this data you see at the bottom is MAU by month, as you can see titled here, but what that is individual authenticated users for the month, and this is the data for Minecraft education. So this is some interesting data that you normally don't get to see, but we've worked very closely with Microsoft in implementing our Minecraft strategy. And what you can see is as we move through the year, typically, now if you go back to the 1920 school year, you can see it really bumping up through here, all right? And then it drops down in the summer, which is very typical. July is very dead here, and then it starts to build up a little bit more because we have these amazing clubs that take place over the summer that still use tools like Minecraft, Sphero, other engaging learning technologies. And what you see then in January of 2020 is it's still building this last school year. And then, I'm sorry, this is 1920, this was 1819. So 1920 school year, when it gets to January, February, March, you see there's a steep decline here where this, based on other trends in the past, it should have kept going. So the big question was, what happened? Well, obviously, we switched to NTI, the pandemic hit, and that really threw up a lot of hurdles for education, and this really tanked, and we hit this drought here, where it was just dry with not a lot going on. Some people were still logging in using it, which is great, fabulous. And then here we see this huge jump, and we hit numbers that we were in mid-year or end of year for the school year before. This big jump right here, this was due to the huge update about a month and a half ago, which we helped pilot over the summer and a little bit of last year before the crash. This was when Minecraft Education Edition came out on Chromebooks. This was the huge game changer for our district and for many other people out there, because Chromebooks are the economical, great choice for using Google Tools, Google Classroom, and other things. So Microsoft moved in on that and also got Minecraft Education Edition pushed out to that.
And Jim, I just wanted to interject briefly.
Absolutely. Let me take a breath here.
Right before, our district was so excited because we had gotten asked by Microsoft to be one of 3 districts in the nation to pilot Minecraft on Chromebooks. And we were like, yes, we were so excited. We were going to make a bunch of noise. You know, it was a big win for Kentucky. It was a big win for JCPS. And we were getting ready. We were in a non-disclosure agreement with Microsoft, and we couldn't say anything about running the pilot on Chromebooks. And so we were just like, and we had teachers participating. I think we had 10 schools pilot Minecraft on Chromebooks. We couldn't say anything. And right when we were getting ready to make the big announcement, boom, global pandemic. And so it kind of thwarted our plans there for a little bit. And then we had to get creative and say, okay, how can we still push for kids to be able to innovate on Minecraft during distance learning? And so through Jim's leadership, we continued pushing forward and working to scale it across the district. And we're happy to report that we have 7,000 unique users now in JCPS. And our teachers are innovating in their instructional design like never before, and allowing kids to be creative and innovative in Minecraft. And so we have lots of episodes on the digital learning channel for JCPS, but Jim, shout out to him, he was paramount in pushing forward through the pandemic and in creating opportunities for kids to still leverage Minecraft at home. And so we did push out Chromebooks to kids. Lots of Chromebooks were distributed to kids. And that was always the big stressor for us, because before this, you could only Minecraft on Apple devices or PCs. So we knew if we really wanted to get some traction with Minecraft, Microsoft had to get it to Chromebooks. So they partnered with Google and partnered with us, and we were happy to do that. So other districts, real quick, what are your implementations with Minecraft thus far across the state? Who would like to share? Anyone?
Hey Heather, it's Amy. We have just been, doing base level, of course. STLP is also a big thing in our Minecraft participation. But again, I love that basically the ceiling has been lifted and our kids can do Minecraft on Chromebooks, because that was a huge limitation for us previously, and so it really limited the amount that our kids could participate and utilize Minecraft. So this is absolutely wonderful news. But I also want to say, Jim, that I love that data. It just shows how purposefully that you guys are scaling this in order for our kids to have those opportunities and your students to have those opportunities to innovate. So hats off to you guys.
Yeah, we were super excited when we got that data and got to see that. I mean, that was just incredible that when that rollout came out, and that really showed the difference with it hitting Chromebooks, as you said. We have some iPads out there, we have some Windows devices out there, but the majority of students at home on distance learning are using Chromebooks, and the numbers really shot up because teachers were starving for it, and they know it is a great way to engage and grab students' attention.
I'm going to piggyback off Amy and say, we're really brand new to the Minecraft game, I think. But with the Chromebook edition, I think we're going to really be able to really get into it. So I'm super excited about this, and I can't wait to learn way more about it from you. So super excited.
That's awesome, and I have a lot more to share, and I can share some resources that can be used that we've created in JCPS that we would love to share with others out there.
Awesome, Jim. Why don't you continue sharing some of the strategy with everyone?
All right, outstanding. Let me share my screen again. We'll see how this goes this time. All right. Then. All right, well, I'm not going to present this time because I want to bounce around to a couple things. And I love everybody's on Kentucky Go Digital, all of you that are watching and viewing, and hopefully you will subscribe also, and I know Heather Worrell brought this up, the JCPS Digital Learning Channel. Check that out. We have a digital learning channel. Let me go to the homepage on that. I was down to a playlist, And you can find so many digital tools on there, walkthroughs, things to go through. Now, they may not be specific for you, but if you use Clever, there's a lot of Clever information. If you use Google Classroom, there's a lot of information. But specific for me, I'm going to click on playlists here, and notice I've already subscribed. All right, got to make that red button go gray. I'm going to hit playlists, and you can see that we take these then with our team and we break this down, and there's a teacher NTI support playlist, Savvis support list, which is a new tool that we're starting to use, Microsoft Teams, there's Google, there's Ring Central, all these different pieces, and there's this wonderful one right here, Minecraft support, all right? And you see these episodes that we do, and they'll be anywhere from, there's an 8-minute one, there's some 26-minute ones, a 32-minute one that go over specific pieces on settings and all of those. To build with that, and these are available to anyone, it's on YouTube. To go with that, we also have our JCPS Minecraft Education Edition website. This is really our little hub that introduces people to the basics of Minecraft out there, how to get to it. This is, once again, our scaling strategy. Start small, build big, because if you've used Minecraft or know about it, it is an endless resource for any content area out there. It is what's considered, when it first came out, to be an open world sandbox, which means you can build just about anything in there that you can think of. And so it talks about why do we use it. We use it for critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity. You can give students their own individual world to play in. You can have students learning together in a small group, or you can start your own world for learning and drop your entire class into it. To do that, the only qualification you have to do Minecraft Education Edition, to get it, purchase it, whatever it may be, you have to be an Office 365 for Education account holder in your district, because it runs on a domain. So it needs that domain login. After that, you can get it. It comes with most education packages at the district level. It is such a powerful tool. As I said, we've just started really pushing and scaling it. Last month, we were at 7,300 plus individual users. I know that October is going to be a lot higher than that, and we continue to grow it. I'm so excited about it. So on here, the Connect page, I absolutely recommend following @PlayCraftLearn on Twitter, as I hope you're following Kentucky Go Digital and JCPS Dig In for our digital innovation team. Follow PlayCraftLearn. Just that resource alone has so many different ideas. We have clubs that go on with Minecraft. I talked about that, and I've had people ask me, what should I do in my club? And I'm like, you know what? If you check out the feed on Twitter, every month they release a new build challenge that students can submit their work to Microsoft to get featured on the Education Edition stream. And also, there is right now going on the Global Build Championship that started in October and it runs through November. Teams from 1 to 3 students, 8 to 18 years old, can compete in here, register them, get on it. It is amazing. With the introduction to Minecraft, know that Minecraft Education Edition is different from the Minecraft that's been around for a decade out there. This is different in that it has extra things. Hello?
Sorry, that was my bad.
No, you're fine, Elaine. It happens. We have chemistry resource packs, 3D exporting. There's a classroom mode companion app. There's extra settings specific to the teacher, just gives you more control. And you'll see on the website that you can get access to the videos, go through the basic settings. I do the how and whys. The newest video we've added is how to take world, because we're in this distance learning. And I talk about how to take a Minecraft world straight from the internet, get it into the Google Drive, share it in Google Classroom so that your students can access that world. I also talk about a little bit of the networking, which is another piece that's on here. I added a whole how-to guide from Microsoft on issues with networking and how to connect students. So you can drop your class together in one, you can build small groups and have them do share codes, which is simply 4 characters that they put into their game, and it will transport them to another player's world. It is such a powerful tool. I cannot get over it enough. Content ideas on here, you can check, of course, the Minecraft, education.minecraft.net website, and they have resource packs. You go to Find a Lesson or Find Worlds. They break it up by content areas. They break it up by age if you want. You can pick your age, your grade level. You can even get more specific on what you'd like to do. I want theater. I want something with social good. And then you pick the worlds down here, download them, play them, build them, alter them, or you can just start with the generic empty worlds and do all of these things on this website, where ideas that came up through the Minecraft Education Edition cohort in JCPS. Our teachers came up with these ideas as we were learning and training together. It was astounding. We also did, last year was the first time Microsoft had paired with a school district, JCPS, where we did a whole week of Minecraft training, and every day focused on a specific content area. We had a day of math with math teachers only. We had a day of language arts with ELA teachers. We had a day of science, and so on throughout the week. And it turned out so well, they want to use it as a model to continue training.
And Jim, I just wanted to say that would be my advice to other district leaders across Kentucky. Sometimes tech tools just feel like tech tools for the sake of tech, and teachers don't really see how this fits into their specific content area. My advice is when you do go to scale this and you find the teachers that are interested, right? But and you bring them to the table, but my advice is to do it by content area. So like Jim said, one day we brought English teachers together to our digital innovation studio at Camp Edwards and had Minecraft come in and work just with English teachers and how they could integrate Minecraft into their instructional design. Then the next day, math teachers, because, and Microsoft said we were the first district to ever look at it like that through the content lens. Because what happens is if you pull a whole bunch of different content teachers together at the same time for a 6-hour training, they might only find maybe half an hour to 1 hour of that whole training that was applicable to them in their content area. So my advice is to pull them together and train them by content.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. The challenges with a large district when there's a small group of us trying to train that many teachers, and you always want to think about how are they going to be able to use this in their classroom? Because I know when I was a teacher, I am a teacher, how can I use this? I go with my science lens typically when I look at something, because that's what I teach. Give the teacher something to take back and they will own it, they will love it, and that's when we get to celebrate them and put all of the great things on Twitter for everyone else to see and say, oh, I can do that, that's a great lesson, how do they do that? And then we make those connections after that and have them help each other. It's touching.
I want to just clarify. So I'm thinking about Dana and Angie, and they both expressed interest in beginning to roll this out for Chromebooks. What would be the first thing a district would need to do to get Minecraft available to students on Chromebooks?
So the first step, as I said, would be to make sure that you have an Office 365 for Education account within your district, a license for that. That way all the students, they would have the universal login or the domain that they would be on. At that point, you make sure that whatever license agreement you have for that Office 365 Education includes Minecraft Education Edition. Now, many of them do, but some of them will come and they will not have that, and you'll have to get it as an add-on, and you just get the district license for that. After that, you would have to then, depending on whether you have a managed Play Store or not, if it's not a managed Play Store on your Chromebook devices, students can put different apps and things on their devices. Now, most will take and they'll do a managed Play Store so that it limits what's on there, because Chromebooks can only hold so many different things on them. At that point, you release different apps through the managed Play Store. They click on it, it will install the app. So either way, they're getting the app. Then they have to log in one time with their district credentials. They're in.
And in our district, I know a school, we rolled it out to the whole school at one time. So not every school in JCPS got it rolled out, but we knew if a teacher wanted it, the principal had to be on board and know that if we roll it out to that teacher, it's getting rolled out to all the teachers in the school. Correct, Jim?
I will say that is how it started out for the first week and a half, 2 weeks. It started out that we'd say, put in a help request ticket, we will get it pushed to your school. But what happened was they ended up getting so many requests, they ended up just releasing it in the managed Play Store so that anybody could get it that needed it. That way they only had to do it one time, because they got a little bit like,
wow.
Okay, what can we do here? We're getting too many requests.
What a great problem to have.
Happy about.
Yeah, right. So panelists, what questions do you have for Jim, or what questions are in the chat? Or feedback or ideas, any breakthroughs?
Well, Heather and Jim, I just have to say that I had no idea that it was available for Chromebooks until we scheduled this. So, I was like, okay. And then it just so happens that this weekend I had a teacher saying, hey, I want to do Minecraft on Chromebooks with my students. How do I make that happen? And it was like, okay, just wait. I'm going to be in a event on Monday so I can learn how to do this and open it up so that we'll have that available for our students. So just knowing that we do have that, because it has been on our workstations in the schools that have used it. But like you said, everybody has Chromebooks now, and that was where we were limited in what we were able to do. So this kind of opens it up, and I can see teachers using it quite a bit now with NTI, and I'm really excited to get you to share some of the things that you learned about different content areas, because I agree that's where it's important that we break it down so it's applicable to that particular group of teachers. So super excited, great stuff. So
that is awesome to hear. So two things with that. One, I will say, check out our Minecraft Education Edition website, because there's a lot of different things, and the ideas that are on the resource page are phenomenal that our teachers came up with. It was, things that obviously one person is not going to get, but as these content teachers were looking at it, it's there. So hopefully that gets put in the chat so that anybody can get to it. It's not restricted within the district. Anybody can see it. And the second thing is, so yes, it is on Chromebooks now, but if everything is updated, all of your devices have rolling updates on them. I linked a Windows machine, a Chromebook, and an iPad running Minecraft Education Edition, had them in the same world playing together. So this is across platforms once you have it. So it doesn't matter what your student's on, they can share things together. It was so seamless that I was thrilled.
So Jim, what would you say to the teacher that wants to incorporate Minecraft in their class but knows nothing about Minecraft? But their students probably know a lot.
Yes. Okay. So that is, oh my goodness, Matt, that is the question that I get so often, and I appreciate you asking. So the first thing I tell teachers is, you need to get in. I'm like, have you ever played before? I'm like, well, no. All right. If you're going to want to give this to your students and understand what they're doing, get in and experience for yourself. So Minecraft within the month has just released 10 new introduction worlds, which you go into the world and it has NPCs and signs that tell you everything from the basics. This is how you move forward. This is how you move back. Because if you can't navigate the game world, it's going to be hard to kind of move around and see what students are doing if you want to join them. And even if not, you should still have an idea of how they're creating these and the trouble they go through, especially if it gets into coding. There's 3 tutorial worlds, and now there's tracks of tutorials on just say the Tinker block-based coding that's in there. There's Python coding if you have high school students that want to use this. There are other coding languages that are in there, and there's tutorials on how to use them and implement them and how students can get those. But I always, so the recommendation, experience it, get in, do some worlds, learn what you want to use.
So Jim, where do they go? What's the website? Like right now, if we have a teacher watching, where do they go to get in and start playing?
So the first thing I would do is send them my website, and then that's just really going to push them to, and I'm not sharing my screen, I'm just talking. So let me share my screen.
Jim, while you were talking about it, we did drop that chat or that website address in the chat. So make sure that you check that out.
Awesome. Thank you. So the education.minecraft.net, or you can just Google Minecraft Education Edition. It's going to take you to the Minecraft or the Microsoft-based Minecraft site, which is a little bit more than mine, detail on there. But obviously you go to class resources, see some of the things, you can look at how it works, and it's going to have videos and some tutorials, almost like the digital innovation website on Minecraft Education Edition. Then you can also go to support. You can download this, and one thing before I forget, because I go so fast when I'm doing this, if you want to get into this, there is badging, because everybody loves badging. Google certified, Microsoft certified, Apple certified teacher. You can be a Minecraft certified teacher. And I will tell you, this is the first time ever that Microsoft has done the Minecraft education online cohort, due to COVID, of course, and NTI. But join in on this. This is open to the public. This piece right here, when you're on their website, get there and they will introduce you to this, and all you have to do is fill out the form. You will be in, you'll get email updates, and this will be learning the basics. This is not the old pro that's been doing it for years. This is for the newbie coming in saying, how can I do this? And it links you up with other teachers that are like-minded doing this as well. It is a great program.
Do I have to download an app or anything? So if I'm that teacher, do I click that purple Get Started button?
You can get started, or I went to support and I went to download. There's the Chromebook here, but I really wouldn't go about it that route. You can get the Windows version. You have the Mac version. If you're on a Chromebook or an iPad, I would go to the individual app stores on those devices to get that.
So that's where you go. And our whole team, the first time, you should have seen us getting in these worlds, building things. And you just, like with anything, innovation's messy. And you just got to get in and play. Like James Allen and Heidi Neltner always say, Kentucky, go play. Get in that sandbox and play. And once you start doing it, you're like, wow, this is kind of fun. I see why kids are having fun and innovating with this. Has anyone on our Kentucky Go Digital panel played with Minecraft at all or experienced it?
I have a lot, actually. This is Kathleen Receiver, and my son is a huge Minecraft lover. So we have asked his teacher for several projects if he could actually create in Minecraft. So he was given an assignment to do a biography on Abe Lincoln and to act it out. Instead, he built a world about Abe Lincoln and then used the book and quill feature and the posters and the signs to write about Abe Lincoln and then go through his life. And it was the most creative video you've ever seen. Of course, I'm a little biased there with my son. But then also I did some summer camps this past summer with over 200 students actually joined my summer camp, and we built a Jamestown settlement for the 5th grade social studies standards. And then we had another one with writing. And then I'm joining, I'm not joining. I have a club starting next week for Minecraft education for 3rd through 5th graders. And we're actually going to use what Jim talked about, which is that championship. Jim, I believe you talked about that, the championship that they're doing right now.
The Global Build Championship, because
thank you.
Build challenges every month. Right now is the Global Build Championship.
Yep. So we're going to do the Global Build Championship with the kids, and then each month I'll switch it up. But they are joining now and really excited about it. So it's not just gaming. It's a great way for the kids to create. And really, I think for teachers, and it's what I tell our teachers, is give them an option. Maybe some kids do not want to use Minecraft to show what they know, but give them that option. They can use Minecraft, or maybe they can use something else to create something to show what they've learned in your class.
And Kathleen, would you show everyone your artifact design studio that you created while Danielle's talking? Maybe pull that up and share that as well, because we have created in JCPS what we call artifact design studios, which are like products that, and I know Jeff Sobolski's loving this, products that kids can make to demonstrate learning, and we do them by content area. And so Kathleen has created one that kind of goes into some of the features she's been talking about in an ELA classroom. Danielle, what were you going to say, darling?
Yeah, I was just going to say I do not have that much experience as Kathleen or Jim or others, but I am helping a high school math teacher, and we know that in math it's like, oh, what technology can I use? But this does apply to math. Just like Jim showed on the website, you can narrow it down to content level, and we are really looking forward to implementing it with those math teachers as well as in other ways.
Yes, Danielle, you're right.
Go ahead. I just want to thank you, Jim, for sharing this, because I don't have a lot of background with Minecraft, and I've heard about it and I've seen it, with kids playing. But now that my own child being home for so long, and seeing assignments from her STEM teacher, hearing you talk about, first of all, it is so exciting because you can tell you love what you do, and it comes through, and it's awesome that that passion goes down to your students, because now I'm excited, and to see my child come home and she's asking these questions, and to know I've heard y'all talk about content and standards, and for us to hear people sometimes separate technology, this show blows that out of the water. I mean, you're talking about how this can be incorporated with content areas according to standards, and it's just the way it is. It gets me excited to learn and to play. I know Heidi said just get in there and play. I think James Allen said he was this very second. I'm not this very second, but I plan on getting into this for my own child. So thank you for sharing this as a parent and as an ed tech lover. So thank you.
And that is part of my love, and thank you for bringing that up. My son is a 5th grader, and he loves it too. Anytime he has an assignment, he had a math assignment last week that was on his choice board. He could do, one of 3 things, and one of them was a Minecraft volume project with the creatures, and had to build them of a certain volume. And once he got that, he was just, thrilled with it, whereas math isn't always the favorite subject in our house.
Yes, and our sons actually have tried to play together as well, mine and Jim's, and the same thing. Writing is not my son's favorite thing, but man, he loved that Abe Lincoln project that he did. He spent hours, and you will learn, Courtney, because you will get to join the world with him or her. They will ask you all the time. So I'll share my screen real quick if that's okay, and just show you real fast. So like Heather said, we joined with some of our instructional partners, and I also worked with our ELL partners as well, and we went and did Minecraft from an ELA perspective, but also thinking about our students that have English as a second language or English language learners, and talked about the language development and how as students are creating these worlds, and if they do some type of screen recording to explain their work, how much this benefits them in their language development. And these are just some different ideas, so they can journal about the created realms that they make, writing and sharing different creations with their peers, as well as creating settings of a story. So, and we talked about, and I know Jeff Cebulski is watching right now. I was just meeting at 9:00 with an STLP coordinator wanting to look through some different DPOJ categories, and how can we use Minecraft as a way to show different settings of a story or book trailers and that kind of thing. Also just to solve a problem. And then for our newcomers in JCPS and like our ELs, like we said, using Flipgrid if you have parental agreement to record that screen of what they've built. And then the immersive reader is huge with Minecraft. So for my son, specifically when he built his world and had the different posters, as well as some of the kids that we worked at Audubon Elementary, give a shout out to them. They were able to click on the immersive reader within the signs and the posters and have it read to them. So that is huge as well. Those are just a couple things that we did with some of our elementary students.
And we have several artifact design studios from a variety of content areas. Matt, did you do one in Minecraft as well? Or you did Tour Creator, didn't you?
I did Tour Creator. Yep.
Okay. I thought maybe you had.
I did another one in social studies, Heather.
Yeah.
That may be what you're talking about. I did a social studies one with the Jamestown settlement, and we combined a book that the 5th graders had read, as well as the social studies standards. And it's actually, we didn't get a chance to record it because of the pandemic, but we were right at the end of that. So that might be what you're thinking about.
There's another amazing one on the Learning Channel, which is the high school where they built the businesses inside with their related arts class, and they built the businesses, had an economy, and they talked about the different pieces that are on there. And that's on our JCPS Digital Learning Channel.
Yep.
I just want to reiterate. Oh, sorry. I just want to reiterate that these.
You could drop the playlist for the Artifact Design Studio, because we've tried to be very specific about how it can be integrated to for kids to demonstrate skills and standards in various content areas at various grades. Courtney, did you love all that? What I just said? Go ahead, Kathleen.
I was just going to say the ideas that I was sharing, I didn't come up with those. I went to the website, and like Danielle had said, that they're all made for you. And really, if you are on Twitter, Playcraft Learn, they're constantly putting out different ideas and things from the teachers as well. So I'm looking there. So let's work smarter, not harder. You don't have to recreate the wheel.
I just wanted to contribute one last thing. As you can see, we're very passionate and excited about Minecraft and JCPS, and we love to see our kids, what we call emerging innovators, creating and demonstrating and productive collaborators in JCPS. And I know we had a question in the chat about saving worlds that I want to get to, but when we launched Minecraft Week last year, it was about a year ago, the trainer that came in from New Jersey, this is the best story that got me hooked on Minecraft and sold. And her husband was a teacher, and the parents were getting so mad at her husband. They were calling and saying, "You're giving too much homework. My kid's spending hours every night doing your homework." And he was just getting beat up by parents saying he was giving too much homework. And he told the parents, "I'm not giving any homework. The kids are spending hours and hours working on their projects because they love it." And what they were doing was innovating in Minecraft worlds. So that, when I heard that, it gives me chills to this day. They weren't spending hours and hours on compliance homework. They were spending hours and hours because they loved what they were learning. And that's what we wanted to give to our students in JCPS, that type of learning opportunity. Amy, were you going to say something?
Yes, this whole show has just been screaming at me as we think about distance learning and allowing students to shift from this paper pencil type or even, just substituting digital worksheets in for distance learning. And this allows them the opportunity to create and have these amazing learning experiences, even, in this distance learning world and environment. And we're not putting kids on these, substituted worksheets. And the kids are truly creators. And so that's just been screaming at me this whole time. And this is a wonderful tool that allows for cross-curricular connections and learning. And so it's just been screaming the whole time. This is wonderful. This is a wonderful way for kids to create, especially during this time of distance learning. So thank you, Jim, so much for sharing.
No problem. Just so many things, like with Heather talking about the teacher from New York and what his students were doing. They were using redstone, which you probably don't know, but you can build basically circuits inside the Minecraft world that do things. That he was doing like a logic operation with a target game the student had made. And that's what he was spending hours on. And then like with Kathleen showing that with the immersive reader and how it can do the languages. There's so many pieces of this that come together. It is such a powerful tool. I cannot stress that enough. You can find the content areas following that Twitter feed. Heather said there was a question about saving worlds. So what I can just say basically is when it saves world, it saves it in .mc world format. And if you watch the video I have with Google Classroom and getting the worlds, instead of downloading it from the internet, it would already be typically on your device. And then you'd want to upload that into the Google Drive so that you can share out if you're wanting to do that.
Jim,
Because
the question actually was, is it the teacher that's saving the shared, or is it an actual student? So who owns it, and how does that?
Great question, Elaine. Sorry. So what happens with Minecraft? If you give the students the world and they open the world and start it, any changes you make once you open a world gets saved into that world. So if they've opened their own world, you give them all an individual copy, like any other document on Google Classroom. They will have their own copy of that world file. Now, if you as the teacher start the world file and I give you my 4-character join code and you guys jump into my world, when you leave, you do not get a copy of that world. However, everything you have done and interacted with will be saved on my device. So it's whoever opens and creates that world and starts the rendering. Once people start joining it, or if they're by themselves, they have that world on their device. I hope that answers your question in the chat.
So, Jim, I just want to elaborate on that. So it is important to have a Chromebook that supports Google Play Store, correct?
Yes, you have to have the Play Store to get the app, absolutely.
And all of the world saved locally on that device within the app.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So this is really great for like a one-to-one environment and non-shared devices.
So the question, a little bit, James Allen's talking about it in there. He's picturing a group project. So who's in charge of that group project?
So I would do that same as, any other group project. One person, even in science, and I'd give a big packet out that they were building a presentation, whatever it may be, one person is going to be responsible for that. So I would pick whoever your team leader is for your group work, have them generate the world. They share that join code with the 3 or 4 students that are working with them. Those students drop in, but that group leader will be the one that has that world file saved on their device.
So when I'm thinking about this as a like a Google slide, if I'm the owner of it, then I give you rights to see it and to edit it as well. But then is there a way to change ownership in worlds, like say if a student left the district or anything?
So that's a little bit more complicated. They would actually have to take the world file they have on their device. Think like old school, before we could do all this awesome cloud sharing. They have that world file. They would have to upload it into the Google Drive or email and send it to the other people. If everybody opens it, they are then going to have their own copy of that world, which is something some of the teachers do in our district. Is they will build the world, alter it in some way, use border walls to make like a little corral for the kids to drop into. Once they're done, they exit that world. It saves the changes they made. Then they send it out to the students.
So it's like
So they
pushing
alter it a
that
little
button
bit.
of make a copy for every student in Google Classroom. That's kind of what it is. Awesome.
Yep.
That's very similar to what they did for the Jamestown settlement. So then the kids were able to create that settlement within their groups. The teacher made the world initially. And then that way you can put in your instructions, and you'll see if you go and look at on Minecraft's site, how teachers have set those up. When they've created those worlds, they have, their own posters and signs with instructions along the way.
You can program NPCs. You can link a video off of YouTube or some other website in there. You can put a Wikipedia article on Jamestown onto the NPC, plus give them something to say. Hey, my name is John Smith. We're going to be doing this. Check out the link below for more information on. So many things you can do.
And Jamie, shout out to you. She's our friend from Hardin County Schools. She's talking about using Minecraft with her students. And Kathleen, you started a Minecraft after school club as well. So this is another layer, because in JCPS, we've really been challenged with how do we continue clubs in a distance learning world. So several people across the district had created club proposals, and Kathleen was one of them, and her proposal got approved. So you want to talk about Minecraft clubs for districts that might be interested?
Sure. So we have different levels of clubs, obviously K2, 3, 5, and then your middle school and then high school clubs. And really, the sky's the limit. There's all different types of clubs, from a walking club to I think Elaine is doing one for video editing. She's going to do that club. So we just chose a topic that we wanted to do in the grade level, and then when we are going to meet. So after school hours, we're going to meet with the kids. And like I said earlier, for the Minecraft, I'm an elementary teacher, so I'm going to focus on the 3rd through 5th grade. And I'm going to grab some standards that we're going to use, even though the kids won't know that, but I am going to do that. And then we're going to use that championship, the October championship, what they're doing with Minecraft. So really, I'm using what Minecraft has given me. I'm just putting it together in a Google Classroom for the kids to get together and collaborate with one another during this time.
And Kathleen, I love you so much for doing that. For me, that's just scaling so much, bringing these students in. Look at how they're learning this tool. They're working with it. You as a teacher are learning standards and things you can implement with it. And the kids are enjoying it, not even realizing that they're doing these things. It's just amazing. And then it just builds out from there. It's an after school club, but yes, you can use it in your classroom as well.
And I hope they'll go back and tell their teachers about it. So then the teachers can say, hey, listen what I did in my club. Can we do this in our class? And then maybe it'll spread more that way too.
And the fact that it's virtual, and so even when we go back to school, you can still do this virtual club district-wide. So it doesn't have to just stop. I think there's a little silver lining in the pandemic.
Absolutely. This is both ways, Elaine, and I love that, because we had over 7,000 when we were in the buildings, let alone now that we're not. Yeah, absolutely. Either direction you go.
This reminds me of something that Lou Young kicked off the KY Go Digital this summer, talking about a better normal. And this is something that definitely would make and has made a better normal.
Yes, and so my initiative is part of coding, and we are also I'm excited to kick off the coding after school club for high school. So I am really looking forward to using Minecraft and coding as well. So Minecraft everywhere.
We are also working with Microsoft in the background, and I don't know if I've even talked to my boss about this, but we are working with Microsoft to pilot a lesson that's going to be used in December for Hour of Code Week with Minecraft. And so we're working with coding and Minecraft to implement that in our district and test it and give them feedback on it. It's just some of the amazing things going on that we have access to that we're just making it better, and they seek that input. That's why it is such a powerful tool for education.
Jim, you are an absolute rock star. And when we talk about purple cows and remarkability, you are not only a Minecraft leader in JCPS, but a Minecraft leader for Kentucky and the nation. And you're making Kentucky proud. And Jeff Cebulski just mentioned in the chat that oftentimes when he gets questions about Minecraft through at the SDLP channel, that he refers them to you. And I agree with Courtney, your passion and your energy comes through. And what a blessing you are for all of us.
Thank you very much. And yes, Jeff, thank you for including, I think for the last at least 3 or 4 years, I've seen Minecraft as one of the projects for the state championship for STLP. So keep that up. I like it.
All right, DJ Maddie B, do you want to take it away?
Yes. So, Jim, thank you, man, for a great show. We want to thank everyone on YouTube Live for joining us today. And in the future, when you watch us, thanks for joining us then, too. We want to thank everybody along our bottom side panel here. Thank you for leading, especially Jim, for sharing his knowledge on how we can leverage Minecraft during distance learning so students can continue to innovate and create with that tool. Heather, do you want to tell everybody how they can continue to support and stay connected with Kentucky Go Digital?
That's right. We would love for you to continue tweeting how you're innovating for students and with students in your schools and districts to the Kentucky Go Digital hashtag. I believe there's also a Facebook page as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get all those updates. I think there's over 100 videos from the past 3 seasons of Kentucky Go Digital right there waiting for you to access them.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. This has been awesome. Our next show is in 2 weeks on October 27th with Ben Frazier, who's the principal at Plano Elementary, and that'll be with Amy Buss, the instructional tech coordinator at Warren County Schools, along with James Allen and Ben Maynard from KDE, all coming together to discuss how schools can use Google Data Studio to capture data during distance learning and beyond. And actually, fun fact about Ben Frazier, I graduated with his younger brother, Luke. So little Warren County Greenwood connection there. So thank you all for watching. We can't wait to see you on the hashtag. See you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Bye, guys.